Aloha and welcome to the most active volcano on Earth, Kilauea on the Big Island of Hawaii. On our latest trip to the Big Island, we took a trip up the volcano to the Hawaii Volcanoes National Park to take a look at this incredible natural wonder. Unfortunately for this trip, despite some recent unrest, Madame Pele was sleeping and the world's most active volcano was inactive. So this video is more of a guide what to do when the volcano is inactive. We hope you get lucky on your visit and Madame Pele is putting on a show, but if not, it's still really worth a visit just to see her playground. The best place to base yourself for a visit is Hilo. This is only 30 minutes to the park entrance and drivable in around 45 minutes. We were unfortunately based in Kona and the drive over is over 90 miles and takes well over 2 hours. It's on these kinds of drives you really notice how big the Big Island really is. It's a stunning drive over mountains and through lush jungles and coffee farms, but it can get a little tedious if you're stuck behind slow-moving traffic. Also, expect a little weather, with cloud and rain forming at higher elevations. Getting into the park costs $30 per vehicle, but you could consider a tri-park pass for $55, which gets you into all 3 Hawaii national parks. Or the America the Beautiful pass at only $80, which is good for all US national parks for a whole year. It's an incredible value pass. First stop was the steaming bluffs overlooking the Kilauea crater. The temperature had plummeted now as we were 4,000 feet above sea level and some murky low cloud had rolled in. This meant the steam vents really showed just how warm they were, as you could warm yourself up happily in the steam. We carried on down the crater rim drive as far as the Kilauea Outlook, where we explored the trails and hiked up to the Jaeger Museum, which was actually demolished just a few days after we left. It was a little bit of a disappointment that the volcano was snoozing at this time. There'd been quite a few eruptions in the last few months and a lot of earthquakes, so we were hoping for a little more activity, but alas, Madame Pele was taking a nap. While we enjoyed visiting the crater rim with no eruption there was not that much to see, so we didn't spend too long up here as the weather seemed to be getting worse. There are some long trails that circumnavigate the entire rim, but these were not on today's agenda. Backtracking to the visitor centre, we then headed down to the opposite side of the crater, stopping at the marvellous Thurston Lava Tube. This short trail, now in deep jungle, takes you right through an extinct lava tube, which is really fascinating. Here the weather was seriously primal, with the clouds literally flowing in and out of the treetops. We were going to hike the Devastation Trail, but the thick cloud on this side of the crater meant there was little point. Instead, we carried on down the Chain of Craters road, stopping at the various eruption sites along the way. This road is quite incredible. As the name suggests, the road passes through several of the many recent eruptions that have occurred in this part of the volcano over the past 100 years. There has been an incredible amount of volcanic activity in this part of the mountain, with the road being covered in one way or another in over 40 of the last 50 years. This means this road is liable to be closed, and is often shut when volcanic unrest or eruptions occur that are not confined to the crater. We strongly suggest following the park on social media as they do an amazing job of keeping you updated on the events. Many of these eruption sites are visible as the road winds through the lava fields past various craters. There are several hiking trails, including the Nepal Trail, which takes you out past some of the biggest and most violent vents that have opened up in the last century, such as the Mauna Ula crater and the Pu'u'owo vent, although this trail is a challenging day hike of over 14 miles. Past the lava fields and the road drops down aggressively towards the ocean. Here you lose 4,000 feet of elevation very quickly as you follow the road down to the ocean. The views are staggering and the wind is often very fierce. We struggle to even open the car doors at times. The views back up the flanks of Kilauea were staggering, with endless lava flows having poured down the mountainside. This used to be a through road, but the continuous flows meant the route was abandoned and the road ends here. There are a few interesting things to see here, such as the Hawaii Sea Arch and the remarkable Palm Oasis nestled in the lava flows. There is a short hike out to the end of the road where you can see where the unstoppable lava cut off the route for the final time. An emergency relief road has been carved through, but it's off limits. Down at this part of the volcano, the temperature had soared back up and the sun was blazing, so we didn't hang around too long. It's also pretty desolate down here, but we had just one more stop to make before the long trek back, the Petroglyph site. This requires a 1-mile hike out over rough lava, but it is well worth the trip as you can really feel the connection with the ancient Hawaiians and the indelible mark they left on the landscape. There is a short boardwalk that surrounds this sacred area, so you can view the amazing ancient markings without disturbing or disrespecting the site. It's easy to overlook this site. With so much natural awesomeness on display, a few rock carvings can seem a little insignificant, but this is one of the most important areas of the park. We just hope Madame Pele leaves it alone as well. It was now time for the long drive back over the volcano. The 3-hour drive was pretty grueling, but the overall adventure had been well worth it. Again, the route back is pretty stunning, with some beautiful views of the coast and the stunning Mauna Loa as we passed the coffee farms and lush jungles of this side of the island. We had a fantastic time in the park. It was a shame the rumblings of recent days had not led to an eruption, but this most active of volcanoes has been pretty quiet the last few years. Eruptions are short-lived and not often viewer-friendly, so at least we got to see the park in its entirety. As often, eruptions mean closures, and even when they are nicely packaged within the crater rim, the park gets absolutely packed. So there are definite pluses to seeing the park when the volcano is still. But let's be honest, we really just wanted to see some flowing lava, like we all do, but the scars that these endless eruptions has left on the landscape are still well worth viewing. It's a stunning part of the island, and getting to see these elemental forces in action is pretty amazing. It's definitely on our must-do recommendations for any visit to the Big Island. Mahalo for watching. If you like this video, we have loads more Hawaii content, so check out our channel, or watch one of these videos that should have appeared on the screen right now, and check the description for links to more info on visiting the Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. Bye for now.